everybody. Welcome to Lifestyle Listings Live. We are back here on Instagram and we are so excited. We are actually on location here today at Ethos Escrow. We're going to talk more about that, but we are so excited to be here and so hope everybody's doing really well. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about escrow today, and so get ready to ask your questions because we're looking forward to hearing from you and what your thoughts are or confusion, because there is a lot of confusion out there about like this big word called escrow. So we do come live every other Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. right here on Instagram. So thanks for joining us, and hit the like button to let us know you want more of this and give us your feedback. We've got some links in the bio right now. One of them is to our website. Another one is we have the Ventura County Fair happening this week. Yahoo, the fair is back. Woo! And it's going to be so fun. So the set list on the concerts looks really, really fun if you love Cheap Trick, and I think Santana's coming. Oh. So it's going to be really, really fun to come out and spend time with your family and friends. Yeah. So there's also a link in the bio to our newsletter that just went out yesterday, which talks about the fair, but it also talks about the 10 top reasons as to why Ventura County is such an amazing place to own property and to live here in Ventura. So we have some great links there. One of the other great links in the bio gives you the opportunity to click on it and get what's called a free comparative market analysis. So you can put in your property address and it automatically sends you a market analysis and value of what your property is worth right now. And a lot of people are still wondering, like, what's happening with my value? Is the market changing? Is it not changing? Because if you do go to Zillow, if you go to one of the other websites, Realtor.com, they don't actually, they do a little bit different of market analysis. It's not as accurate. We really narrow it down to the existing comps in the area that are more like your property. And then the best thing to do is, if you really want to know what your exact value is, invite us to come into your home and we'll walk around, no commitment, if there's no charge. We come out to your home, we walk through, maybe you have some ideas. Should I do this to my home if I sell it? Should I do this? Maybe it's a year from now, whatever. It's a journey, it's not an event, right? So we'll come out, we'll talk to you about what your value is and what are some things that you can do to increase your value that may not cost a lot of money. So, so the comparative market analysis link is in the bio as well. Okay, let's see, what else do we have going on here today? We have hi to Dolce and Kathy. You guys are on. Thanks so much for joining us today. We have a couple of escrows happening right now. We are in escrow at 1705 Cherry Hill Road out in Santa Paula. We are in escrow on 3444 Albion Drive. We literally listed that property last Friday and went into escrow on Tuesday. So the average days on market in River Park has been about 30 days, but just saying, Lifestyle Listings, we got up and into escrow within like 4 days. Yes. So there you go. Call us if you live in River Park or anywhere else and you want to get your property sold. We are closing today in San Diego, 376 Center Street, and that has been a really, really fun escrow, believe it or not. I'm from San Diego, or lived there for 25 years, and I had a friend down there. She's like, no way, not using anybody else. We're going to have to figure it out. I need you to sell my home. I was like, okay, we got you. So it went really, really smoothly for her, and that was a really successful sale. Recently, we sold on Woodland Drive in the Oaks, beautiful Oaks in Santa Paula. We just closed on that. So we have a lot of stuff, and we have some new listings coming up, which we'll talk about in 2 weeks, but we have some new listings coming up that are going to be a lot of fun. So today, I am so excited to be on site here at Ethos Escrow, mainly because It's brand new, and they're so on fire here. The main reason is because Ethos Escrow is Lifestyle's listing #1 escrow preference company because of the service that you get as a client, as one of our team members. No matter where you are on the team with Lifestyle Listings, you are going to get such amazing service from Ethos Escrow, and my clients absolutely love them. So please help me welcome owner Ronnie Montana.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for letting us come on site today. Show off your digs here. It's so cool.
Of course.
So the energy here is, it's absolutely beautiful. And Ronnie's wife, Dolce, and I'm going to do a shout out to Lydia Ramos, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Lydia Ramos does a lot of the plants here,
and created this and our other
this is like real live moss, right?
So that energy helps just flow everything.
You feel it. You walk in here, just like the energy is so good, and it's lots of oxygen flowing in here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lots of good energy.
Purified air, ready to go. I'm ready to close some escrows. Yes.
Right on. And we've been closing escrows since you opened here. We were right on. So we're so excited. And I know there's like a lot of questions we want to talk about, but hey, who else is on here?
Kathy Gray says hello. Hello, Kathy.
Kathy Gray.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Keep working on that loan that we're doing for our escrow. You got that, girl. We're so happy you're on that end of our transaction.
Absolutely.
So, but before I even get into about Ethos Escrow, I just want to say thank you. You rock. You rock our business, our team. We love you.
Thank you.
That just means so much because our commitment to our clients is to make sure that they are really loved and taken care of. And you just oh my gosh, you're so sweet to them because escrow's a difficult time sometimes for people. Hi, Kunal. Welcome. And Jeff. Thanks for being on. So good to see you guys. And escrow can be... when we work with Ethos Escrow, it goes really smoothly, right? There might be some bumps. Most of the time, the clients don't know about them because we protected them from that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We're always communicating back and forth, this is happening. At some point, do we need to go to the client, or can we just make stuff happen and move stuff through? So I am so overly grateful for how smooth our escrows go with your team. And so first of all, thank you so much.
That means a lot.
And then, congratulations, right? Yes, you did it.
Woo.
You went out. You were already an eagle and flying where you were before, but you're okay, it's time.
Yes.
So
we found a new mountaintop. Yes, and yes, we are doing it. It's an amazing feeling.
Such a faith walk, right?
Yes, absolutely, and very humbling too. To take that chance, especially when everyone's saying it's a bad market and things are turning, and that's all true, but you can still be successful. You can still work with great people and help people, and that's really what it's about.
That's why you've been so successful. It's because the special touch that you do with people. You pick up your phone, you call people. You're laughing, but you do it, and I know you do it because my clients tell me you do it. And that's so huge because people want their answers, and email is great for certain things, right? However, that phone call and that voice and that compassion that can come through on the phone is really, really helpful. And so thank you so much. So now tell us about I guess, what is escrow? Right. Explain to everybody, what is escrow?
That is the question, right? It's such a mystery out there. It is. Escrow is a lot of things, and that's why I guess it is so hard, and you'll always hear different definitions because there is so many aspects to what we do. It's kind of hard to just sum it up in a little thing. But I guess you got to be a little bit of everything, right? You got to be quick on your feet. You got to be very available for all your clients, accessible, answer your phone. You know, like it sounds like such a simple thing, but as you say, sometimes trying to get that escrow officer on the line is just sometimes impossible, and it's not necessarily their fault. We are incredibly busy and taking phone calls, ordering payoffs, you know, dealing with signings, and I mean, buyers calling, verify wire instructions, you know, and this is what we encourage. We love the communication, and that personal connection only helps also. But so escrow is just kind of the neutral third party that does work with everybody, right? We have to be center and make sure that everybody is doing what their job details. And, you know, luckily with you guys, it's like, that's why it is so easy. It's not just me, it's you guys. You know, the setup that you have, the communication that you give me, the information on these files, like how we're doing on Albion, how we already know stuff going on, you know? So it's like, just communication is key, and the more I know, the more I can prepare the file so it is an easy transaction and flowing. And obviously if I don't know, then I'm gonna ask you, and you're gonna tell me, okay, well, we need to do this and that, and you know, so having a great agent is key to having a great escrow. It really is, you know, and then a great loan officer or mortgage broker, you know, and then even down to the notary at the end, you know. Right. So, and we just try to keep a tight little clique of everybody who's going to assist with this and make it happen, you know. And we're the all-knowing and the all-doing, and you know, and just very grateful to be here. And I love my job and I love what we do, and it's awesome.
Well, you feel it. Yes. I know. If we, hey Julius, welcome to the live today. So good to have you here. And it's just so, you know, when I have a question and I'm like, oh, I'm in this situation, I gotta call Ronnie. It's just like you answer your phone. It's like, bro, I'm so glad you answer your phone, because the more efficient we can be in the escrow and getting questions answered, then we can just keep the ball rolling, right? Yes, everything just keeps rolling. So I really am grateful that you answer your phone. And I gotta throw a shout out to my assistant, to my transaction coordinator, Amanda Stewart.
Yes, Amanda.
Right, man.
Wow,
She is the girl.
She's amazing.
Yeah, so she's my assistant, my transaction coordinator, not mine, but Lifestyle Listing. She's our transaction coordinator. And she makes sure all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, right? She's already on stuff before we even know it's coming.
She is amazing. And she's my go-to on certain contract questions, you know, that I have, just because I know she has mastered that. Even with the new contract coming out, she was already on it. The first week I already had questions. She's like, nope, this, that, you know, and I was like, wow. And she simplifies, you know, and this is always on point. So big shout out to Amanda. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Amanda.
Working with Escrow. And quick update, Center Street, by the way, that is funded and set for special recording.
Oh, we're funded on Center Street.
San Diego. So funding and recording same day, because that's just what we do, you know.
Special.
We do that. Special recordings for our special clients. And, you know, that's pretty much the norm, you know, especially your files. I always make sure we expedite and have available.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything, for sure.
Yay, that's great. So that's our escrow in San Diego that just funded, and that means, you know, some people are confused or don't know what happens when it's funded. It doesn't mean that it's recorded. It doesn't mean we've actually legally closed. It has to record with the county before we can hand over the keys. So, yay, right on. Center Street's funded. That's great news. Thank you so much. That's always fun. So, so what else do we want to talk about? What do you think is, what is this story of Ethos Escrow? Give me a little background.
All right, that's a deep one. Well, Ethos is I've always wanted to start my own company, obviously. You know, it's just been something that's been in me. I have 3 daughters. My wife works in escrow now. I have a great assistant who's been with me for over 10 years. And it's just always been a vision to try to start something and have an escrow company ran and owned by an active escrow officer, you know, because you do got to stay involved, and you got to stay in the trenches with your people so everyone knows, you know, how this is supposed to work. And I try to lead by example. So we were able to create this process years ago of how to handle high volume desk and a high volume escrow desk with sales, refis, commercial, mobile homes, you know, not bulk sales yet. That's my mom. She does bulk sales, and she's amazing at that. I'm going to eventually learn that, though, so that'll be another feather in the cap, and then multiple things, you know. So it was just this dream to just start my own thing and kind of create what we have here, you know, and just be open and just more communication, more help, more people involved, you know, and be able to reach out to others and help more. So, you know, we've been working on it for years, and then it just finally came together real quick at the end, you know.
Isn't
and
it
it
funny
was,
how when
wow.
stuff, you know you have a dream to do something and you know it's there,
Work.
and then all of a sudden it starts coming towards you
Boom.
really fast. You're like, oh shoot, I think it's time. And you're like, is it time? Is it
Yeah.
time? Is it time? And I don't know. You're like,
When
is
is
it
the right
time?
time?
And then everything starts to lay out.
Yes.
And then you're like, at some point you go, I'm walking out
Wow.
on faith.
Yes.
I'm just going to go.
That's it. It was a leap of faith.
I'm going
exactly.
in. I'm going in.
I always joke with my wife, I'm like, I'm still waiting to meet the owners, you know? And it's just like, well, wait, that's us,
Look
you
in the
know?
mirror,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. So it's very surreal, and just I'm truly blessed, and you know where I've come from to be here. It's pretty miraculous, you know. I feel for myself, so I'm truly stoked. And this is just the beginning. So we're Ethos Escrow, always evolving, and that is
Yeah.
the truth. We will always grow and continue to adapt to this forever changing market, you know, and
Forever-changing
just trying to
market.
help.
Yeah, forever changing
Absolutely.
market. Yeah, so
It is.
that's what the whole philosophy is behind Ethos Escrow, yeah, which means ever, you know, always evolving.
Yes.
So you guys are just on a great path
Yes,
to
thank you.
lots of closings and
Yes,
escrows,
and we
especially the
will.
lifestyle listing folks.
Absolutely.
And so talk to us a little bit about who's on your team. Like,
Yeah.
who's here on your team, a little bit about them. I know we have your amazing wife, Dolce.
Dulce, yes, she's
Dulce.
amazing, she's amazing. And then also Christine Martinez has been my assistant now for a long time, and she was been in the industry before. Obviously, we got together, and when I met her, I just loved her energy, loved her work ethic, and we just really meshed. And we worked together, and then she left, and then I was lucky enough to be able to get her to come on my team, and then I never let her go, you know, because
Yeah.
that's my right hand right there. She picks up where I leave off, and it's weird that we can just kind of flow. She does what she needs to do, I do what I need to do, and very little communication going on, but we know it just happens, right? It just
Right.
flows, kind of like with your files. It's just like
Right.
everything just goes the way it's supposed to, and that's how I know it's meant to be. And then my wife, thankfully, was able to learn escrow. She has a background in loan processing,
Oh, okay.
so that's how we met. I was a messenger, and I was delivering packages, and I saw her, and then I was just glamored, and I was just like,
Aw.
okay, I'm gonna work on getting her, and, you know, and it took time, and then she played hard to get, but you know, she was great at her job, always working hard, and that really got me too. Just a good person, you know, and luckily she gave me a chance, and then I ran with it, you know, and now she's learned escrow, and she's helping me run the business and do the back end stuff, so I can still focus on my desk and my everyday duties, which are a lot, you know, like you say, there's so many hats in escrow, and
Yeah.
you know, we just keep changing them, keep shaping them. We got Sahara alive out there.
Yeah.
Nice. Had to
Yay,
have her
hey
down.
Sahara, welcome to
Yeah.
the show today. Glad to have you. So we do residential, so we do escrow whenever we change title. We sell a property, we change title. But let's talk about like some of the other things you do, because like I think it was like last week, the owners on Center, they called me and they were like, oh, it's a woman, and she says, so I'm gonna be, you know, moving in with my fiance. We wanna put his property in both of our names, and he has a loan, and she starts going down that conversation of how do I do that? And guess what I say? Call Ronnie.
That's
So
right. That's smart.
there's all kinds of things like that. People like, how do I hold title?
Mhm.
And how do I combine with somebody else? Or my parents, somebody just recently passed away. Now what do I do?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
that's a really important
Absolutely.
question, you know, because yeah, we see it all the time, and all of a sudden someone has passed away and the property is in a trust or whatever, and now, you know, there's some things that you really want to do right away. You want to get an appraisal, you want to, you know, change the title and make sure everything is
Yeah.
you know, indicated on the deed, right?
Correct. And make sure you're maintaining the payments, and you know, property taxes would be doing that because you don't want to have to deal with any default or anything. But I
Right.
think you should do maybe one of these about vesting, you know, because a lot of people don't even know that, and that is such a crucial thing. Like you mentioned, a trust, that is one of the best ways to hold title, you know, because that avoids ever the property having to go to probate or anything, right? And sometimes these loans happen and they'll take a spouse off and now it's just the husband or just the wife on there, and then something, God forbid, happens to them. That property technically needs to go to probate, you know, and now with attorney fees and court fees and just the stress of that on top of someone passing is such a nightmare, right? So, and then people coming out the woodworks and, oh, they said I was going to get the property and they promised me half or whatever, you know, exactly, that person's gone. So the trust is such a valuable asset, and more people don't know about it, unfortunately.
It's
you know?
so true, and I think that some people, like, hear that word trust. You know, I need to put, you know, I need a trust, and it's like, oh, it's a big kind of a lion in the road, and they're intimidated by it. They don't know how to do it. You know, lifestyle listings. We have a couple of really amazing trust attorneys that will come to your living room and sit down with you and get stuff done. And so, you know, if your property is right now being held in an individual name, or you're in joint title with someone else, you know, call me and we'll refer you to somebody, but really just looking into that and making sure, because that, for me, my property is in a trust and I sleep well at night, you know.
Yes, and you know that
know
whatever happens, exactly, they have to follow whatever's written in that trust, right?
Yeah,
so
because I'm out doing some great hiking and, like, you know, I'm out in the world doing crazy stuff, you know?
Exactly.
I don't want to have to be worried about if something happens to me, you know? And I want to make sure everything's in line, so,
and
you know, because if your family has to go through that, it's bad enough they have to deal with the loss, but now they got to deal with the probate
and all this unknown and the uncertainty and who said what, and it just, you know, then family can start fighting, and that's never what anybody wanted, you know, especially the people who work so hard to get this property. It's one of the biggest purchases you'll ever make in your life, so why not take that extra step and secure it and make sure that, you know, you're protected and your family's protected for, you know, the future. You know, it's just the smartest thing to do, and it's very simple.
Smart thing
but like
to
you say, sometimes we're preparing deeds and adding spouses, and that's at least better. Joint tenancy, right? To have two spouses on there, so if something happens to that person, the other one does get the property without having to go to probate if you're a joint tenant. But the trust is just more of a solid way to just, you know, way more than a will, and a will actually doesn't really work for a property, so it's kind of that
so
could be
talk a
contestable.
little bit about that, because like a will can be something that's just like written on a piece of paper.
Sometimes not even notarized, you know, so exactly, where a trust, that deed and the document itself does need to be notarized, which confirms your mental capacity that you meant to do this, right? And then you're putting it in there for the benefit of your family. So a will's, you know, you could be on your deathbed and not really coherent, and just someone's next to you like, oh yeah, write my name right there, you know, and who knows, like, people can get kind of crazy when there's money involved. So that doesn't really protect you. That's a fallacy. That may work for, you know, jewelry and little things, but even that would be contestable, I would say, because again, it depends your mind state, and that's what we're always concerned about is, does a person know what they're doing? You know, were they under duress? Were they forced to sign something? You know, that's always something, and especially title companies are going to question stuff like that, and maybe they should. I mean, they are insuring the transaction, so it makes sense that everything needs to be disclosed and clear so that the title can transfer and no one has any problems down the line.
Well, I did a transaction about 2 years ago with a family, and their mom passed away, and I think there was a will, but there was no trust. So now you have two boys that truly loved their mom so dearly. She died, unfortunately, at a young age and passed away. And so here they are, you know, going through all the mourning, and they can't sell the property. And so we had to go through all the stuff and get the probate attorney involved. And it was a whole year before we could get that property, you know.
It easily took a year.
So, you know, it's a long time. So what else? Tell me your, like, favorite success story of escrow.
Oh, geez, all right. I don't know. There's so many. I mean, I love I kind of like the troublesome ones, you know? I mean, not troublesome, but more like...
Oh, good, because I got one coming up for you, man.
Right. You know, I mean, Where you got to put in work. I mean, like I say, a lot of these escrows, they're supposed to flow perfectly and should go pretty seamlessly. Everyone works together and does their thing. There's ones that sometimes, there's a lot of liens or judgments on title that need to be dealt with and cleaned up fairly quickly. There could be HOA issues that are going on, and I kind of like the complexity of offering solutions, and problem solving, which is just really nice. To be able to get those done. So I would think the troublesome ones are a little funner once you finally get to that finish line, and then the next escrow is going to be a breeze, because that one was so hard. It's like I can close anything, and again, as long as you're doing the right thing and you're just trying to help people, God will do the rest and take care of everybody.
Amen.
So, yes.
I love that for sure. I think you're all staying integrity. And let's see, we have Ocean Point Realty. Hey, thanks for coming on the call today.
Yes.
Really appreciate you guys coming on. So tell people how they can get in touch with you. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Yeah. So we are at Ethos Escrow on Instagram, and we have our website, ethosescrow.com. We're here in Oxnard, California. You can check us out there. We've got a little bios, little stuff about us, and just kind of our, our little mottos of how we work, and we're here if you need us.
And real quickly, just one more question. I think a lot of people are kind of, what's the big question going on? Like, what's happening with real estate right now? Like, give me what you're seeing. You're busy, right?
I'm busy, luckily, yes. Thankfully blessed and busy. But it's touch and go, I mean, there's times where it does slow down and we're just kind of sitting here like, wait, what's going on out there, Last week was kind of like that. It was kind of deserted, but then a lot of people were out of the area doing, conferences and stuff. So, but it's just weird how things can go from that and then to just opening a bunch of escrows one day, So
right.
Luckily we are busy, but it's a different market. It's kind of starting to plateau. I'm thinking, I don't think prices should continue to keep going up. I mean, they've gone up dramatically, and now with the whole rate hike and all that, I'm sure they're trying to level that out. I think we probably would have leveled out eventually anyways with the appraisers and stuff. But I haven't had any appraisal issues really, which that was a thing in about a year ago. We were having issues where people overbidding, and now the property's not, it's way higher than what it's actually worth, but people want the house. And now it's starting to level out where the prices are matching what it's worth, and they're flowing a lot smoother, and you're getting serious buyers. It did unfortunately kick a lot of other buyers out of the market with the interest rate, and they can't afford it. But just keep saving, because owning is always going to be better than renting. Just like Ceci says, right? Friends don't let friends pay rent.
There you go, Ceci. There's your plug.
Real right there. You got to own that house. It's yours. You're building something for your family. You get the tax write-off, so it's always a great time to buy. Don't wait, because the people that were waiting a year ago paying more now that they're trying to buy now. So if you keep waiting, it's only going to get worse. So buy as soon as you can. Get with your lender. Get pre-approved. Go see them and get your agents in, and you're good to go.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We have, we are actually this year, we were just looking at statistics, and that there's actually been more houses sold this year than last year. So I don't know, you could say the market's changing. It could be changing. However, specifically here in Ventura County, we were talking about this earlier, we've got people from the north coming south, we've got people from the south coming north, and just Ventura County is an amazing place to purchase and to build equity in your life. So there is a link in our bio for Ethos Escrow, so you can find them there. And I am so grateful to you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again for everything you do for me and my team. Thank you to everyone. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And go check out the fair next week. It's going to be really fun. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.